Hi there, my name is Tessa Duggan. I am currently a marketing assistant at the Ted Rogers School of Retail Management, and I'm in my third year of retail management.
Hi, my name is Janice Rudkowski. I'm an assistant professor at the School of Retail Management at Ryerson University.
Hi, my name is Alex Duesing, and I'm a third year co-op student at the School of Retail Management.
So can you tell us a little bit about your research?
Thanks very much, Tessa. So the research that we worked on together is called Emerging from the Chrysalis of the Devoted Patron, an exploration of employee patronage motivations and behaviors in fashion retailing. Now, I know that's a bit of a mouthful, but just to provide a little bit of background, our research is inspired by frontline retail employees who in many companies are no longer just considered sales associates. Frontline retail employees today, they're experiencing growing empowerment and influence. And some examples that come to mind are Nike, for example, who now call their sales associates part-time athletes. At Lululemon, they refer to their frontline employees as educators. And even at the beauty and cosmetics retailer Sephora, their frontline retail employees are considered skincare advisors.
Janice, can you tell us a little bit about your research? How did you decide to work together?
Originally, I worked through the TRSM co-op office, and I posted a job to find a research assistant who would be looking to work with me over the summer during a co-op work term.
And from my perspective on that, Janice had reached out to me and asked if I would be interested in working with her as a research assistant for the summer for my co-op work term. And I had never really thought that I would be interested in research before that, but I was very excited for the challenge and decided to accept the opportunity because I knew that I would learn a lot.
There was also some really great opportunities from a government funding perspective there. So we were able to take advantage of the government funding through the SWPP, which is the Student Work Placement Program, which is a great incentive for employers to hire undergraduate students.
Why this research topic?
Frontline retail employees are really important stakeholders within, the retail organization. And it's because they're not only employees who help to deliver that retailer's brand promise, frontline employees can also be customers. And this is particularly salient when it comes to fashion retail. You often hear about people who shop at fashion retailers and say, hey, you know what, I wonder what it would be like to work there. So as a frontline employee who may have been a customer of the retailer before they started working there, and then now the employee has these two perspectives as both an internal perception of the brand, but then also as a customer, they also have these external perceptions of the brand. And so this dual perspective is a real valuable one to consider, especially when retailers are thinking about how they're going to manage and grow their brand. And so this was really the sort of the genesis of this idea to study frontline retail employees' perceptions and patronage behaviors and motivations. And so this understanding that frontline employees can be both employees and customers, and they are also valuable customers who actually have these really interesting insights into the retailer's brand because they see the retailer from these different vantage points.
How did the research process go?
So Janice had collected the data before I started the position as an RA. So I started by familiarizing myself with the literature. And so I did a lot of reading academic literature, and then I proceeded to conduct a systematic literature review that essentially organized the literature. After that, we started analyzing the data and creating codes using a qualitative data analysis software called NVivo. And so we used fashion retail, and we defined that as accessories, apparel, jewelry, shoes, and cosmetics. So there was 5 open-ended questions that were analyzed and closed-ended questions that were gathered that we also used as demographic data. And so we used the 6-step thematic analysis process to analyze the data, and these steps included to familiarize yourself with the data, generating codes, searching for themes within the data, reviewing themes, defining and naming themes, and producing the report. And so in order to do this, Janice and I both independently coded the entire data set. Following this, we did a comparative analysis where we met over Zoom to discuss coding schemes, modify codes, and identify key themes. After this, we analyzed the list of 135 codes that we created to come up with candidate themes. And to ensure that the themes fit with the entire data set, we both reviewed the themes in relation to the entire data set. Any missed data from this was recoded as needed. And to define and name the themes, we made sure to frequently reference the coded data, and the process ended by producing the report.
What were the most significant things you found out, and were there any surprises?
The 2 most important themes that emerged from our data was that retail environment basics continue to matter to frontline employees. And so these results were largely focused around price, promotion, product, service, and place. One notable finding within this theme was that technology and the retailer's use of technology was noticeably absent from our data, and we actually did not find one response regarding retailer's technology use as a patronage motivator. The second theme that emerged from our data was to shift the employee experiences as they transition from external customer to internal customer or employee. And we defined this transformation as 3 different stages. The first stage being devoted patron, second stage being the chrysalis, and the third stage being the conscious patron.
What are the highlights of this research opportunity?
When I think of my position as an RA, some of the highlights were really learning so many new skills about the research industry and the research field in general. I was very unfamiliar when I started this position and really did not know what I was getting myself into. And so being able to spend a lot of time and invest myself into this project was super amazing opportunity for me. It was also the first time that I had done work similar to what you would submit for a school assignment, but wasn't receiving a grade for it or wasn't thinking about maintaining a certain GPA. And so that was very interesting for me to be able to invest myself in this project because I was passionate about it and wanted to learn and wanted to advance as a student. And so being able to focus on learning new skills, collaborating with Janice, and really being able to learn from her knowledge and the tasks that I was completing and navigating through those, that was definitely a highlight for me. And I think that it really allowed me to improve and even gain some skills that I'll be able to use throughout the rest of my academic and professional career.
One of the highlights for me was in working with Alex. She was really contributing to the research all the way through. And you could really see that her confidence was building. And as her confidence built, she was really making valuable contributions in terms of analyzing the data and pulling out some really interesting insights. And so we really became a really strong team working together. And the whole sort of research experience culminated in, we wrote an extended abstract, which we submitted to the AMA ACRA triennial conference, and it was accepted. And recently we both had the opportunity to present, which I think was a really amazing opportunity, particularly for Alex, being an undergrad student presenting at an academic conference, mostly with other, graduate students, PhD students, and other professors. And it really just, I think, showed this whole journey that she went on, how she learned so much, but really developed these amazing skills like critical thinking, time management, communication skills that are so transferable really to any workplace.
Before starting my journey in the research industry, I was super unaware about the research industry as a whole and really what research is. I never thought it'd be something that I would really do or explore. I honestly was quite uninterested in research, and I thought that in my opinion, was maybe a little bit dry for what I wanted to do. But once I was presented with the opportunity and thought about what I would learn and what I would gain as a student, I decided to accept the opportunity. Also, the topic of the study really sounded important to me. So that was another reason why I accepted the role. And since being in the position and what I learned throughout the whole position, once I really was able to realize what the research industry is like as a whole and everything that goes into it and what you can learn from it and what you gain and how credible the findings are and just how interesting it is, it's really changed my entire opinion on research and has influenced different paths for me to take. And I think it's really important that I was given this opportunity. I think it's really important that other undergraduate students explore this opportunity because it can lead to you maybe wanting to do your master's, or I know for me, it sparked new interest and I'm currently doing an independent study, which was something that I would never have done without this opportunity. It's also really important and I think can be a competitive advantage for you when you are job hunting and can be something that you speak to in an interview and how you could positively contribute to a company's brand and company as a whole with the research and the findings that you discovered in your research. And so now that I'm done this experience and have an idea of what the research is like, my idea of the industry has completely changed. And I think that is very interesting and a super amazing experience for any student to consider.